Begin on Daf Pei Gimel Amud Aleph, one line from the top. Gemara quotes what it said in the Mishnah: "Choyle machile noisai al pi bekiyin." A person that's ill or can't fast. So if we have professionals, bekiyin too, then we can rely on their opinion to feed him. Amar Rav Yanai, so Rav Yanai said the following halacha: Choyle oimet tzarech. The man himself that's sick says that he has to eat. And the doctor says that he does not have to eat. We listen to the person himself that's sick. My time, what's the reason? The heart of a person, he knows the bitterness of his soul. A person can sense his needs better than anyone else. So he knows that he has to eat even more than the doctor's opinion. Fragt the Gemara Pshite, isn't this obvious? So the basis of the Gemara's question is, well, if you have one opinion that says he has to eat, another opinion that says he does not have to eat, so it's one against one, shouldn't that be a suffix? And any time a person's life is in danger, suffix nefashis will always make and we allow him to eat. So what's the chiddush here? Answers the Gemara, ma'od deteme, because I would think to say, roife kim leitfe. It's not one against one. It's one individual that does not have any medical knowledge, and another doctor that has a professional opinion saying that he does not have to eat. So maybe that outweighs his opinion. Kamash malan, therefore we're saying, no, a person knows himself what he needs better than anyone else. Reifai metzarech, the second halacha, Rabbi Yanai said, in a case where the doctor says that he does have to eat, v'chaylai mein etzarech, and the person himself that's sick says that he does not have to eat. We listen to the doctor. My time, what's the reason? Because it's possible that he's not well and he's saying things like a shaita without thinking, some kind of delirium took hold of him, and therefore his opinion doesn't count. Now the Gemara brings what it said in the Mishnah, and we'll see if it fits with what Rabbi Yanai said. Tanan, in the Mishnah it said, Choyle machile noisai al pi bekiyin. A person that's not well, so we allow him to eat in Yom Kippur by the opinion of bekiyin, of two doctors. So what do we see from this? Al pi bekiyin in, only if you have the opinion of two doctors, then we allow him to eat, but al pi atzmei loy. But if it's he himself that says that he has to eat, then we don't allow him to eat. So this is a question on the first statement of Rav Yanai, that when the Chayla himself says that he has to eat, and the doctor says he does not, we do give him to eat. Another thing we see from our Mishnah, al pi beki in. The Mishnah says you need the opinion of two professionals that say that he has to eat, then we give him to eat. Al pi baki echad loy. But if one doctor says he has to eat, we don't give him to eat. And in the second statement of Rabbi Yanai, he says that if a doctor says he has to eat, even against the Chayla's opinion, just one doctor, we give him to eat. Answers the Gemara, Hacha b'may askinon. What is our Mishnah speaking about? The Omar loy tzerichne, that he himself says that he does not have to eat. So this answers the question from the first statement of Rav Huna. Rav Yanai, that is. Rav Yanai said that the person himself says he has to eat, we give him to eat. True, but that's not what our Mishnah is speaking about. Our Mishnah is speaking about a case where he says he does not have to eat, and therefore the Mishnah says we only are relying on the opinions of the doctors. But now the Gemara asks, and comes to answer the question that we had in the second statement of Rav Yanai. But now if so, v'lispulei al pi baki. Why wouldn't we give him to eat, like Rabbi Yanai said, based on the opinion of one doctor? Why did he say two doctors? Answers the Gemara, no, our Mishnah is speaking about a different case. The person himself that says that he does not have to eat, it's not only him saying so. There's another doctor that's supporting his opinion, the Omar loy tzarech, that says also that he does not have to eat. So then, when it's him and another doctor that says that he does not have to eat, we give him to eat only if there's another two doctors that say that he has to eat. In other words, when a person alone, the Chayla himself says that he does not have to eat, so as the Gemara said before, we say that it's some kind of shtus, we don't even pay attention to his opinion. But if it's him, supported by the opinion of a doctor saying so then we know that what he says that he doesn't have to eat is a serious opinion, another doctor supporting him. So then you must have another two doctors that say that he does have to eat in order to give him to eat. But the Gemara doesn't accept this answer. Pshita, this kind of a case should be obvious that we should feed him. Safik nefashisu, it's a case where it's a suffix if his life is in danger. V'safik nefashis lahakol, and we're always makel. In other words, you basically have two against two. Him and a doctor that say that he has to eat, or that he does not have to eat, that is, and 2 doctors saying that he does have to eat. So what's the chiddush? This is a classic case of a suffix, 2 against 2, and for sure you should have to give him to eat. So therefore the Gemara says that so the case is different. Not only is the one doctor supporting his opinion that he does not have to eat, there are 2 doctors that are supporting his opinion. The Amri that he does not have to eat. Now, so what's the reason why we give him to eat if 2 doctors say that he does have to eat? 3 are saying that he does not have to eat. Him and 2 doctors. And only 2 are saying that he does have to eat. Rav Safra said, Trei kimeye umeye ketrei. That 2 are like 100 and 100 are like 2. In other words, when it comes to Hilchos Eidos, once you have 2 and 100 are both believe the same thing. But that's only true when it comes to the halacha of Eidos, that 2 and 100 are the same. But when it comes to estimating something, so then you have to look when you're trying to estimate something, and you have various opinions that give you a different estimate, so you have to look at the number of people that are giving you their opinion. So if so over here, there would be a strong svara to say that if 3 are saying that he does not have to eat, and 2 are saying he does, that you should go according to the majority of the opinions. But over here, the chiddush of our Mishnah is, when is that true? When you're making an estimate regarding the value, money value, when someone owes money and you're coming to collect money from him and you're evaluating property, so then you go according to the estimate of most opinions. But over here, because we're dealing with a case of a person's life that could be in danger, so here I don't follow the Roiv Deis regarding the estimate. So that was the chiddush of our Mishnah. Even though regarding an umdana, an estimate, we follow the opinion of the Roiv, but not here when it comes to Safek Nefashis. So now the Gemara goes back over here. The basis of our answer to the question that we had on Rav Yanai that said that we follow the opinion of the Chayla when he says he has to eat, and in our Mishnah it said that we only give him to eat when 2 Bikiyin say so, was that our Mishnah is a different story, because our Mishnah is speaking in a case where he himself is saying that he does not have to eat. But the Gemara now asks on this. What does it say in the continuation of the statement of the Mishnah? If we don't have 2 professionals to say if he has to eat or not, then we can give him to eat according to his own opinion that he says that he has to eat. So how do we read this Mishnah? What do we understand from this? Miklal, doesn't this prove the Reisha, the Amat Tzarech, that in the Reisha as well, he's there and he's saying that he has to eat? Right? So in other words, the way to read the Mishnah is, as Taisus explains here, the Mishnah starts off saying that you have 2 Bikiyin. So if you have 2 Bikiyin over here, follow the opinion of the Bikiyin, and you don't have to listen to him. It doesn't make a difference what he says. If he's saying he has to eat, it's not enough. Get 2 Bikiyin to tell you that he has to eat. And then the Mishnah goes on to say, if you can't find 2 Bikiyin, then listen to him. In other words, so the entire statement from the beginning till the end is talking about a situation where he himself is saying that he has to eat. So therefore our question of Yanai's opinion remains, if so, why are we getting 2 professionals to come and say that he has to eat? Rav Yanai says once he says he has to eat, we give him to eat. So the Gemara says, no, you're right, so it's we're going to have to say that something is missing here in the Mishnah. This is how you have to read the Mishnah. When it said in the Mishnah that you have to have 2 professionals to say that he has to eat, when is that the case? The Omar Loy Tzorech. Like we've established before, that our Mishnah is speaking about a case that he's saying that he does not want to eat, that he does not have to eat. And that's why it's not a question on Rav Yanai. If he says he has to eat, like Rav Yanai says, we'll give him to eat. So the Reisha, the first statement of the Mishnah, when it says that we need 2 professionals, is because he himself is saying he does not have to eat. If he himself says that he has to eat, so then what I say is, Ein shom bikiyin today. If you don't have 2 bikiyin elachad, the Omar loy tzarech, you only have 1 baki that says that he does not have to eat. Machilin oisoi al pi atzmai. Then we give him to eat according to his own opinion that he says that he has to eat. In other words, what the Mishnah is saying is that if he himself is saying that he has to eat, So then, if there's one doctor that goes against his opinion that says that he does not have to eat, we listen to him. Then we apply the pasuk, Yedeya Adam Maras Nafshay. But, or the exact lashon of the pasuk was, Leiv Yedeya Maras Nafshay. But in a case where you have two doctors that are going against his opinion that says he has to eat, then I don't listen to him. Then according to Rav Yanai, I don't apply Leiv Yedeya Maras Nafshay. We follow the opinion of two doctors. That's the way you read the Mishnah. Mar bar Avashi argues in this. Mar bar Avashi Omar Kol Heiche the Omar Tzarech. Anytime he himself says he has to eat, Tzarechani Afile Ikemeya the Omri Le Tzarech. Even if you have 100 professionals that say that he does not have to eat, Lididei Shamina. We do listen to him. Shanema Lev Yedei Maras Nafshe. A person knows his bitterness, he knows what he needs, even against 100 opinions. So again, Rabbi Yanai's opinion is we listen to him against one doctor. That's when I say Lev Yedei Maras Nafshe. But if you have two doctors, and certainly if you have 100 doctors, we don't listen to him. And that was the pshat in our Mishnah, when it says in Ein Sham Bekiyin today, that only if there's no two doctors against him, we listen to him. But if there's two doctors against him, we don't listen to him, even though he says he has to eat. Mar bar Avashi disagrees. Mar bar Avashi says, if he says he has to eat, it's the end of the story. Doesn't matter how many opinions are against him, we give him to eat. So the Gemara asks him this from the Mishnah. But so Tanan, what did it say in the Mishnah? Im ein sham bekiyin machile noise al piatzmai. If you don't have the opinion of two doctors against him, then you give him to eat based on his opinion that he says he has to eat. So taimed the leke bekiyin. That's only because you don't have two doctors against him. Ha ikke bekiyin. But if there are two doctors saying that he does not have to eat, loy, we don't give him to eat. So this is a question of Mar bar Avashi that said that it doesn't matter how many people are saying against him. If he says he has to eat, we give him to eat. So Mar bar Avashi has a different shot in our Mishnah. This is the way you understand our Mishnah. So going back from the beginning, when it said in the beginning of the Mishnah that we give him to eat only according to the opinion of two bekiyin, when is that? Omar loy tzarech. He says I don't have to eat. Loy tzarechani. So then, if you have two bekiyin, we give him to eat. But in a case where he said tzarechani, that I do have to eat, so then ein sham bekiyin klal. The opinion of any bekiyin doesn't matter. That's how Mar bar Avashi is interpreting our Mishnah. Not if there are no two bekiyin against them, then I listen to them. What Mar bar Avashi reads the Mishnah saying is, Ein Sham bekiyin means even however many opinions I have, it's like Ein Sham. It's like they're not here. Their opinion is worthless. Ein Sham bekiyin klal. Their opinion is like it doesn't exist, and therefore machile noise al piatzmai. Shanema lev yedei maras nafsh. So that's the machlokes here. According to Rav Yanai, we're teaching the Mishnah to say Ein Sham bekiyin, that when he says he has to eat, if there's one doctor going against him, we take his opinion. If there's two, if there's bekiyin, we don't. Mar bar Avashi teaches the Mishnah Ein Sham bekiyin means there are no bekiyin that could go against him. It doesn't matter how many opinions there are. Zog the Mishnah Mi sha'ach zay bulmis. A person that a bulmus grabs hold of him, which is a very strong feeling that he must eat right away and his life is in danger. And as Rashi says, when a person has this bulmus, his eyes become dark and it's really in danger of dying. So machila noisa, we give him to eat, and even on Yom Kippur, and afil dvarim tmeim, even the not kosher foods, until his eyes light up. A mad dog bites a person. We don't give him to eat from part of the dog itself. The Gemara will talk about this. This was a way that they had to heal a person, but we don't do this because this is not a verified method of healing a person. We don't rely on this. But Rav Masya ben Charash matter. Rav Masya ben Charash says we do rely on it. It is a good remedy to heal him, so we can give him to eat this thing which is not mutter. Someone has a pain in the throat, or as we'll see later in the Gemara, it's a pain in the mouth, it begins in the teeth. Some actually are going to see here in the Mishnah, in his mouth he has a pain. You can allow him to put medicine in his mouth on Shabbos. This kind of a trouble, a pain in his mouth, could be life-threatening, and therefore it pushes off Shabbos. Another halacha, mishenaf la'olav ma'peiles, if a wall, a house, or whatever it is, fell on someone. Safek husham, safek einisham. You're not sure if he's there under this ma'peiles or not. And even if he is, safek chai, safek meis. Safek if he's still alive or he already died, so there's no point in going and uncovering it. Safek kuti, safek Yisrael. And even if he is alive, you don't know if it's a yid or a guy. You're allowed to uncover this on Shabbos. Matzu chai, if you found him alive, mefakchim, you can continue uncovering to take him out. V'meis, if he's not alive, yanichu, you leave him there till after Shabbos. We go back to the beginning of the Mishnah. Zok the Gemara, Tanu Rabbanu, we learned in the Braise. Minayin hayu yoydin sheiru einav. At what point do you know that this person, that a bulmus grabbed hold of him and life is in danger? So it says until his eyes light up. What is this exactly? When he's able to distinguish between good and bad. What does that mean? This refers to the taste and eating food when he's able to feel the taste between one thing and another. That's good or not good. A person that has a bulmus, we try to give him from the lightest isser possible. And the Gemara brings examples. Tevel unevele, if you have an option to give him either from tevel, where maisa wasn't taken from the produce, or from the vele. Machila noisa nevele, we give him from the vele because tevel, there's a isser misa b'dei shemayim, whereas nevele is just a lav. Tevel u'shvius, you have an option of tevel and shvius, where shvius is just a mitzvah sasei. So shvius, you give him to eat from the shvius and not the tevel, which is misa b'dei shemayim. Tevel u'truma, you have an option to give him to eat either from tevel or from truma. Now they're both misa b'dei shemayim. So what do? Tanoihi. This is a machlokes tanoim. The Tanya, we learned in the Braise, one opinion is machila noisa in tevel, ve'im machila noisa truma. We give him to eat from the tevel and not from the truma. But Bentayma argues and says truma v'loy tevel. We give him to eat from the truma and not from the tevel. So the Gemara will explain this machlokes now. Amar Rabbe, so Rabbe says as follows. If it's a case where it's possible to give him to eat from chulin, no one will argue that we're mesakin the produce and we give him to eat from the chulin. In other words, what the Gemara is saying is, if you have the produce where the maestris, the trumas and maestris was not taken from it, and if you take trumas and maestris, you'll have enough chulin left over to feed him to calm down the bulmus. So for sure, take the trumas and maestris from the tevel, and then give him to eat from the remainder, from the chulin, and there's no reason to give him not from the tevel and not from the truma. Ki pligi, when is there an argument here? When there's not enough of the chulin to feed him. So now, what do? Mar Savar, one opinion is Tevel Chamor, the Isra of Tevel is more severe, or Mar Savar, Truma Chamura. And the other opinion is that the Isra of Truma is more severe. So in other words, the question over here is, what should you do? Should you give him to eat from the Tevel? Or, no, you should separate the Truma, it's not going to be Tevel, but then you're going to give him to eat from the Truma. So what's the basis of their machlokes? Mar Savar Tevel Chamor, one opinion is the Tevel is more stringent. Aval Truma has a leniency. Chazia l'kayin. Truma, you see, this is an issa, this is something which a kayin can eat, so it's not an issa for everybody, whereas Tevel is an issa for everybody. On the other hand, in Mar Sava, the other opinion is Truma Chamura. The issa of eating Truma is more severe. Aval Tevel, Efshel Eskune. Tevel is a leniency because this is something that can be fixed. You take the Trumas and Maestris, whereas Truma is an issa that cannot be fixed. This is an issa always for a zar to eat the Truma. That's the basis of the machlokes. So to Gemara, going back to the beginning of the statement that Rava said over here, that if it's efshe b'chulin, that if there's enough to take the trumas and maestris, then he can eat from the remainder, which is chulin, so then you give him from that. Fragt the Gemara pshita. I mean, that's obvious. Why did he have to say so? Answers the Gemara, leitzriche b'Shabbos. The chiddush here is, we're talking about Shabbos, to feed him from this on Shabbos, by taking it on Shabbos, you're not allowed to be mafresh trumas and maisas on Shabbos, you're being misakin, and the Gemara here will soon say actually that there's a issa of tiltul, of muktzeh, so you're being over issa midrabanan by being misakin this on Shabbos. That's the chiddush. Fragt the Gemara, b'Shabbos nami pshita. But even on Shabbos, where there's a Ism Rabbanan to take the Trumas and Maestras and give him from the Chulin, it's also obvious that you should be allowed to do this. Tiltul midrabananu. The Isser of Tiltul, which is part of the Isser that's involved in taking the Trumas and Maasros, is just an Isser midrabanan. So of course, that would be allowed in this case where the person's life is in danger. And so the Gemara says, we're talking over here about an otzitz she'ein nokov, which means a flower pot that does not have any holes in it, and therefore it's only a chiyuv midrabanan, the rabbanan. The chiyuv of maasros here, of trumas and maasros, the whole tevel is an iser midrabanan. So therefore, the question is, either way you're going to be over iser midrabanan. You're not dealing with an iser d'oraisa of tevel. Either eat the tevel, which is in this case just an iser midrabanan, or be over the iser midrabanan of separating the trumas and maasros. So therefore I would think, if anyways it's going to be over iser midrabanan, so then why allow him to go and separate the trumas and maasros and be over a different iser midrabanan? So there's no reason to do this. So therefore the chiddush over here is, as Rashi explains, that no, we do separate the trumas and maasros. We do not want him to eat even the tevel midrabanan, because there's a gzeira. If you allow him to eat this tevel midrabanan, he may come to eat other tevel, which is minat Torah. So therefore, it's better to separate the trumas and maasros and be over the iser midrabanan of separating the trumas and maasros, and not to be over the iser tevel midrabanan. Now the Gemara says again what it already said before. Mar savar tevel chamor. The machlok is before whether you should give him tevel or truma when giving him from chulin is not an option. So one opinion is tevel is more chamor, or mar savar truma chamor. And the other opinion, as we explained before, held that truma is more severe. There are others that take out this line because we already explained it before. But now the Gemara goes back to the point here that we were saying, that you have over here basically an option of two isurim midrabanan. Either he's going to be over the isur of tevel midrabanan, or the isur of afrashas maasros on Shabbos, which is an isur midrabanan. Which one should you do? So we said over here that you should be mafresh trumas and maasros, and not be over the isur tevel midrabanan. But the Gemara says on that, leime tanoi. Should we say that that's a machlekes tanoi? The Tanya, because in Abraisa we learned as follows: a person that a snake bit him, so his life is in danger, you can do everything for him. You can summon a doctor for him, and even on Shabbos from one place to another. You can tear open a chicken that he needs to eat. You can cut for him a krishin, which is leek that he has to eat. And you give him to eat this. And the ain sarach laser. You don't have to take the meiser. Divrei Rabbi. This is Rabbi's opinion. Rabbi Elazar bar Shimon lo yochal ad sheyaser. Do not give him to eat from these krishin, the leek, until you take meiser. So now krishin is a vegetable, of course, and the chiyuv of trumas and meisers on a vegetable is a chiyuv midrabanan. So you basically have the same situation that we had before. He's going to be over Issa Midrabanan. The only question is which one? The Issa Midrabanan of eating Tevel Midrabanan without taking the Maasros from it, or the Issa of being Mafresh the Maasros on Shabbos. So it seems like that's the machlokes here between Rabbi and Rabbi Elazar Rab Shimon. Rabbi says, don't take the Maaser, and Rabbi Elazar Rab Shimon says, no, take the Maaser, like we said before, that you do take the Maaser. So therefore the Gemara now says, so Rabbi Elazar, name it Rabbi Elazar Rab Shimon. So the point we said before, that we don't want him to be over the Tevel Midrabanan, because he might come to be over Tevel Midraisa, and therefore he should take the Maaser. That's exactly what Rabbi Elazar Rab Shimon is saying here. V'loi Rabbi, and not Rabbi that says, don't take the Maaser, let him be over the Tevel Midrabanan. So the Gemara answers, no, it's a slightly different scenario, so it's not the same. Afilatayme Rabbi. Our halacha here could follow even Rabbi. Why? At kan lekama Rabbi Hasam. The reason why Rabbi there says there's no reason to take the Maaser, let him eat the Tevel Midrabanan. That's only regarding the Maaser of vegetables midrabanan. That's a case, that's a kind of Tevel midrabanan that nobody will come to confuse with Tevel midraisa. If you allow him to eat the Tevel of Yerek, everybody knows it's only a vegetable, and no one's going to come to mistake to eat Tevel midraisa. Aber b'Maaser Dagan, the tevel d'oraisuhu, but when it comes to meiser of grain, where there is tevel midoraisa, so even though now here this is from a flower pot that has no holes and it's only a tevel midorabanan, but it's the same grain that has a chiv min atayr if it grows in the ground. Here, even Rebbe would agree that you should take the meiser and not eat the tevel midorabanan because people could confuse it. So Afila Rebbe would agree the isharis leibats it's shein nakav. If you allow him to eat it in this flower pot that has no holes, asil mechel bats it's shun nakav. He'll come to eat it also in a flower pot that has a hole, which is a tevel min atayr. Tana Rabbanon, we learned in a braisa. Mi shach ze bulmis, a person that has a bulmis, his life is in danger. Machile noisei dvash v'chol mine mesike. We give him to eat honey and other sweet things. Shadvash v'chol mine mesike, honey and other sweet things. Me'idin moir einov shalodam. It lightens up his eyes. It gives him back his life. It takes him out of danger. There's no proof from a pasuk, but zeichel adava. There's sort of a hint. Because it says, regarding a fast, Ru'una ki ure einai, see my eyes were lit up, Kitamti ma'advash hazeh, I ate from this honey. So therefore we see that in the case of a fast, and he ate from honey, so that's when it lights up his eyes. Why are we saying there's no raya? It says it pretty clearly in the pasuk. So the Gemara answers, the hasam lav bulmis achse. It was just talking about a fast, but it's not talking about a case where his life was in danger, so we don't have a clear raya that in such a case the honey is good for him. Amar Abaye said, Leishanu ela lacha achila. This that the Braisa says that eating honey and sweet things is good for a bulmis, that's after he ate something. Avokaydam achila, but if you're giving him just this honey and he did not eat anything before that, migrer gar, it actually only aggravates his appetite even more to want to eat more. There's a pasuk where it says, "Vayimtzu ish Mitzri basada." They found a Mitzri in the field. Vayikcho Isai al David. They brought him to David, and vayitnu loy lechem. First they gave him to eat bread. Vayochel and he ate. Vayashkum mayim. They gave him to drink water. Vayitnu loy pelach devela. And then they gave him sweet things. They gave him a fig, shnei tzimukim, other sweet things. Vayochel and he ate. Vatoshav ruchei elov, and his spirit came back to him. Kilayachal lechem leishasamayim shleish yom shleish leilis. This is after he did not eat for 3 days and 3 nights. So in this pasuk we see that first he ate, then they gave him sweet things, and that's beneficial. Amar Rav Nachman Amar Shmuel, mi sha'ach ze bulmis, someone that has a bulmis, machile noisai alye b'dvash. We give him the tail, fat part of the animal, together with honey. Rav Hone berei de Rav Yeshua Amar, afseilis nekiye b'dvash, giving clean, good flour together with honey is also good. Rav Papa Amar fila kamchi desari b'divshe, just having even flour from barley together with honey is also good. Rav Yechanan said, Pamachas ochzani bulmis. Once this bulmis grabbed hold of me and he said, my life was in danger. V'ratzti, and I ran l'mizracha shalteina, to the mizrach, to the east of a fig tree, and I went and grabbed the figs from there. V'kiyamti ba'atzmi, and I fulfilled with myself what it says, hachachme t'chaye ba'aleha, that your wisdom brings life to the one that has wisdom. Because he followed with the wisdom of Torah the following halacha that Rav Yosef said, the Tani Rav Yosef, Hareitze litim tam teine, you want to really taste the sweet taste of a good fig, yifne lemizracha, go to the mizrach of the fig tree. And where do we learn this out from? From a pasuk in Chumash, shenemar umimeged tfuis shamesh, that the sweetness of the grain comes from the sun that shines in it. So therefore in the mizrach, when the sun comes up and shines there, that's where the sweetest figs are. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi have a costly baruch. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi were traveling on a road. Och ze bulmis le Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda, a bulmis grabbed him. Kapche le roye, achle le rifte. He went and took away the bread from the shepherd and he ate it. His life was in danger. Amale Rabbi Yosi said to him, Kapachta saroye. What did you do? You caused the loss. You took away the bread from the shepherd. Kimatu lamasa, when they arrived to the city, och ze bulmis le Rabbi Yosi. So Rabbi Yosi, a bulmis grabbed him. Adru bilagi, that is vitzoi. The people of the city came and surrounded him with buckets of honey and with the dishes of food. Amalei Rabbi Yehuda now responded to him and said, Aniki pachti esaroye. I just took some bread from the shepherd. Ataki pachta seir kula. You're causing a loss to the entire city that they have to bring you food to calm you down. Another story that happened, Rab Meir, Rab Yehuda, Rab Yosi have a kozli borcha. The 3 of these Tanoim were traveling together. Now Rab Meir have a medayik b'shma. Rav Meir was very particular. He would learn from a person's name regarding the nature of a person. This is something that Rebbe quoted and mentioned very, very often regarding names. The Rebbe would always be medayik in people's names based on this Gemara. So Rav Yehuda and Rav Yosi lo medayik b'shma. They were not particular about interpreting a name. So kimatu la'ud duchte. They came to a certain place. Bo shpize. They were looking for a guest house. Yavuluhu. They gave them in their place where to stay. Amrullah, they said to the host, Mashamecha, what's your name? Amalahu Kidr, my name is Kidr. Amar, so Rab Meir said, Shma mina adam rashuhu. I can learn from his name that he's a Rasha. Shenema Kidr tapuches heima. This is a generation that turns away, turns over. They're not reliable. They do Avedis. Kidr, his name, Kidr, is like the beginning of this pasuk. So therefore he learned from this that this man is a Rasha. Didn't trust him. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi ashlimu lekisayu. So kisayu. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi gave him their wallets to hold for them. Rabbi Meir lo yashlim lekisay. Rabbi Meir did not want to give him his wallet to hold for them. This was over here on a Friday and give him for over Shabbos, so he didn't want to give it to them. Azal, he went. Where did he put his wallet? So Oisvei, he placed it bekivri da'avua in the Beis HaKvaris, and it happened to be by the kever of this host's father. So it came that night, Friday night, as Chazi Lebechelmei. So this man's father, this kidder, his father came to him in a dream, and he told him, Ta Shakal Kisa the Manach Hareshu Dahu Gavra. Go get up and take the wallet that's lying by the head of that person, in other words, by my grave. Lamacha, the next morning, Amaluhu, the host, this kidder, tells the Tanoim, Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosi, Hachi is Chazi Lebechelmei. This is what I saw in my dream. Amrilei, they said to him, Chalme de Beishimsha, a dream that you have Friday night, less Beiman Moshe. There's nothing to it. As Rashi says, Friday night is a time that people are resting and people's minds wander and you see all kinds of dreams, and that means nothing. They were trying obviously to push him off, that he shouldn't get any ideas. But Rab Meir didn't trust him. Also Rab Meir v'notre kule yoyme. Rab Meir went there and was guarding it the entire day to make sure no one takes it. And then after Shabbos he brought it. Tomorrow, so Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi said to him, Havlon kisan, give us back our wallet. So he said to them, I never got anything from you. So he was in fact a Rasha. So Rabbi Meir says not to Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yosi, so why weren't you particular to see in this in his name? You should have known this. So they said to Rab Meir, if you knew that he's a Rasha, so why didn't you tell us anything? So Rab Meir said, how could I accuse him and say that clearly? When did I say, based on a person's name, that you can see who he is? I know. When did I say chashasha, that there's a concern here? Did I say that it's for sure, definite that he's a Rasha? What happened? They wanted to get back their wallet. So mashchu va'elu lechanuse. They sort of brought him into a store, and they gave him to drink wine. And then chazu talfachi asfami. They saw on his mustache that he had the leftovers from lentils that he had eaten. So now they had a very good eitzah. Ozlu v'yav semana ledebisu. They sent a messenger to his wife saying that I say, your husband, Kidder says, give back the money to these people, and they gave a sign. The sign is that I ate lentils yesterday. And v'shaklu l'kisai, and that's how they got back their money. V'aisu, they brought it to the shliach that went and took it and brought it to them. Azaliyu, and now when he found out that his wife gave out the money, so he went v'kotle li'itze, and he went and he killed his wife. So the Gemara says, based on the story, Hainu de Tanya, this is what we learned in the Braise. Mayim Rishayim, if a person is not careful with washing al tilas yadayim, hechilu basa chazer, so then you end up eating chazer. This is a story that the Gemara says, as Rashi here brings, of a person that did not wash his hands. So his host thought that he must be a guy, and therefore he gave him to eat basa chazer. He only would give kosher meat to the yidden that he knew that he did washing the hands. This person didn't wash his hands. The Marik points out that it must be that he was dressed like a guy as well. And that apparently, according to the Gemara here, was not the issue. The issue is just that he did not wash on Atilas Yadayim. Okay, now so that's that story. And over here in this story we see Mayim Achrayim Hargus Nefesh, because he didn't wash Mayim Achrayim properly, and he didn't put when you wash Mayim Achrayim, you wash off your mustache as well, and he had the leftovers of the lentils that he ate the night before. That's what incriminated him, and therefore he ended up killing his wife. So now after this incident, in the end, even Rabbi Yudin and Rabbi Yossi also began looking at a person's name to see who this person is. When they came to this house, the Shmei Bala, and her name was Bala. So from this, Lo Yailu, they didn't want to go in there Legabe to him. Omru, they said, Shmami no Roshu. It's actually a man, sorry. So he came to the house, his name was Bala. They didn't want to go into him, they said he's a Rosh. Why? They said to Bala Ne'ufim that he's immoral. So this is a pasuk where you see that this is a negative name. And Kamai, you can also learn out from another place where it says Achre Beloisi. Haisili Edna, Beloisi means when I'm old. Kalaima Zekena Benufim, someone that's old in this immoral behavior is very accustomed to it. So then they learned their lesson that you have to be Medayik Bishma to know where you should go and where you should not go.